Today is July 1st, and it is hot. It is so hot, there's a Good Morning Vietnam line in my system right now that needs to get out, but I'm not going to do it. Welcome to another edition of Comic Shop Talk here at Great Stories. We got the team here. We got Chris Mills, Ken Lee, Rob Goyer this time. He was the missing guy last time. Yes, he's replaced Tyler, who's not here today.
Who?
Exactly, who? Yeah, I don't know, some dude.
Thor.
And then Wayne Demers, our resident Star Wars expert. Maybe he'll actually have something non-Star Wars to share with us in the comic realm.
Oof, the pressure
this month.
Expert title.
Oh, pressure. Yes. But as I said, it is really hot. We're hoping that you have air conditioning wherever you are. But we're going to try to put that out of our minds and just ignore the glistening on our foreheads. And as we journey forth into to this new edition, we've got some things to talk about. Well, Marvel is going to drive most of it, I think. We've got a lot of renumberings, relaunches. We already talked about it beforehand. We're not going to use the word reboot, and if we do, then you're going to have to give us some like thumbs down on the videos.
This is not a reboot.
Because it's not a reboot, exactly. So if any one of us slips into that, we should be hand slapped. All right. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to let Ken choose the first topic.
Oh, okay, lucky me. Well, it's wedding season, so we're going to start off with X-Men Gold number 30. This is the much anticipated wedding issue.
Here comes the bride,
everyone loves.
All dressed in gold. Oh,
no, other.
Oh, sorry.
Wrong.
Here comes the bride. It's Kitty Pryde.
Oh, it's good.
Thank you.
Here comes the bride. That's right.
So this is the this is supposed to be the marriage of Kitty Pryde to Colossus. They have been one of the longer running romantic couples in Marvel, and they were supposed to get married this episode, but they didn't.
What?
Wow.
The last
Hold
minute.
the phone.
Last minute, Kitty gets cold feet and she just phases through the ground and leaves Petey at the altar. That's cold. That's some cold stuff right there.
There goes the bride.
And what's really messed up is that she was the one that asked him to marry her, and then bailed at the altar. I mean, that's some cold stuff.
Mutant fans must not be happy about this development.
I don't know how much fans actually cared about this. It really feels like, weddings don't really get a ton of play.
There's always a wedding in an X-Men comic.
And there's always them breaking up or
every other year or so. There's a new wedding in the X-Men world.
Somebody's getting married.
So,
Fair enough.
but
so they don't. There's a twist at the end because someone actually does get married, and in classic Gambit style, he just kind of sneaks in and hijacks the wedding. He proposes to Rogue.
Really? Yeah.
And
nice.
She says yes, and they end up just using their wedding, Kitty's and Colossus' wedding. They get married.
Might as well not make that cake go to waste.
Yeah.
That's how you save some money, folks.
Yeah.
Just swoop in
Cool.
when the
So
bride gets cold feet,
Yeah.
and then you got all your friends there. You didn't pay for anything.
You gotta blow the wedding up first, right? You gotta
Yeah.
be the guy be like, yeah, I object to this wedding.
Yep.
And then later you just gotta swoop in.
Exactly. Perfect. Especially, just choose a destination wedding to do it at, too.
Yeah, easy.
Then you can get your honeymoon for free, too.
It's not like they write the names on the wedding cake, so you can use that too.
Exactly.
well, for those
That
two,
was a
it's
good
kind
plan.
of a about damn time though.
That was
for
pretty roguish of her.
Gambit.
Yeah.
See what I did there? I know.
Gambit
I'll pay the
Road.
punjar. Don't worry.
Gambit Road. It's about damn time.
They were
Big
my
fan.
favorite thing. I remember when growing up, like there was always that heavy, will they or won't they chemistry between the two.
Yeah.
And out of all of the characters, I always rooted for those two because they're both kind of like outcasts of the X-Men. And
Yeah, they're the weirdos of the
yeah,
mutants.
definitely.
I don't know how that can be, but they are. So
Mhm.
it's like they're always on the outside. They're always kind of the forgotten characters.
I felt
So-
their chemistry really always clicked
Yeah,
with them
they-
being both like kind of like Southern and
Yeah.
they just seemed to always click. So I was pretty happy to see it. It's just very typical classic Gambit style. What a smoothie.
Yeah.
Well,
That's,
yeah.
So, I think that book is that book ending?
I believe they're relaunching most of the X-Men series.
Does that mean red, blue, and gold are all going to go away?
I believe
And
so.
we're just, oh, good.
Yep.
I'd like to see a consolidation.
I would too. There are way too many X. I mean, I think it just dilutes the brand with
Exactly.
that many X titles.
Totally agree with you. And because, I mean, you have Weapon X and Weapon H and X-Men blue, green, purple, and gold. It's a lot of X stuff.
There is.
Oversaturation of the market.
But the book they're actually teased at the end of this issue is kind of, I don't know how I feel about it.
It's what, Mr. and Mrs. That
Yeah.
book? So it's essentially, because Gambit and Rogue have their own series out right now. They have,
Yeah.
I think it's just called
It's
Gambit and Rogue.
it's
Right?
Gambit and Rogue, yeah.
Yeah.
Rogue and Gambit.
Yep.
So,
So they're going to continue the series, and it's just going to be Mr. and Mrs. I don't, well, I guess LeBou, I guess. Is that his last name?
yeah.
I don't know. Looks like it'd be cool. It's Kelly Thompson. Looks like cover art by the Dodsons. So, I don't know. I might check it out.
Yep.
Romance books aren't really my bag, but I always did have a soft spot for those two.
All right. What's next on our list?
Venom, number 3.
Oh, Venom.
Venom,
Be Still My Heart.
written by the great Donny Cates, with art, with exceptional art by Ryan Stegman. I mean,
Yes.
the artwork on the series
Yes.
has been phenomenal.
Yes.
Degman is.
Why did I just get the feeling of Tremors, though, when I ever looked at the cover?
Oh yeah, it does
You know
have
what I
a
mean?
That's
Trevor's.
fantastic.
Tremor,
That's a great
right?
reference.
But I mean,
yes.
I do love that cover.
It kind of has a Jaws
Yeah.
feel too in that.
Yeah,
effect, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Spider-Man's there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Miles.
Yeah.
It's Miles Morales is getting all
Oh,
tangled
love
up in this.
Miles.
How perfect.
So I'm actually a few
Yeah.
issues behind. I know in the first issue of the relaunch, Eddie Brock is back in the Venom symbiote, and
Yes.
they're getting along okay. But then the symbiote kind of like just freaks out, and there's like flashes and images of like a symbiote god or something, and
Yep.
then there's this massive creature that's all gnarly, and that's really all I remember of it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Eddie's really trying to fight for control because his symbiote is losing control, completely. Especially, it seems like within proximity of this this ancient entity, basically, and it does seem kind of like a godlike figure of the symbiotes. So it's interesting so far to see that relationship. I mean, I think they touched upon a little bit of that struggle between Eddie and the symbiote in the last series, and the last volume, when the symbiote was actually, I guess you could say, with child, and hid it from Eddie, basically, and was trying to protect it. So now we're seeing a continuation of the struggle, the power struggle between the symbiote and Eddie, but now in a completely different fashion. Now this is not about the symbiote being a protector. It's really it's basically cowering in fear and uncertain of what to do, and not really, as I say, in control. So so far so good. 3 issues in, as you say, the artwork is outstanding in this book, and really lends to the feel of dread.
Yeah, it
throughout
feels
the
like
issues.
a horror book, for sure.
It does, yeah. So I think fans of Venom won't be disappointed. They picked this stuff up, definitely. It's 3 issues in, grab them all if you haven't yet.
It looks way better than the trailers for the movie, right?
They haven't dropped another one, have they? I don't think so.
No, they haven't.
No.
Yeah, I don't want to go down that
When is
road.
that
Yeah.
I'm
There's
not
a
sure.
whole
I'm gonna
just
fall.
there's a rabbit hole you don't want to fall down.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
They like
a while.
started showing it on TV and then stopped.
It wasn't good.
I thought it was coming out
I
soon.
think they probably got a little bit of. I think they caught the wind that a lot of people are concerned about the animation being done
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Venom. So, which is fine. You know that it had to be still in the works.
Yeah.
Still some polishing up.
Yeah.
That was my concern. But anyway, we're talking about the comic, right? So,
Mhm.
Yep.
yeah.
So,
It's related.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
relevant.
I don't think this, just for our viewers, there's no indication that the storyline that will be present on screen has anything to do with the comic series. They seem to be completely 2 separate entities
I don't even think
altogether.
Spider-Man is involved in this. Venom
No.
universe.
No. Sony.
I would love it if we had a little Miles Morales little
Yeah.
appearance.
That'd be cool.
That would be totally awesome. I'd be jonesing because, to me, that should be the next Spider-Man. I really would like to see him on the big screen. Although we're supposed to get an animated version of him soon.
Yep. The Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse animation
Yeah,
movies.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
this next one is called the Spider-Verse, and
yeah.
it's all the different Spider-Mans
This
meeting.
year we'll see like Spider-Gwen. I think she's
Yeah.
gonna be called Ghost Spider, I believe. So they're gonna rename her to
Oh, cool.
not be as confusing.
Good job, Sony.
Well, I mean, Spider-Gwen's kind of like, that's a bad code name, right? It's
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm Spider-Gwen. Well, you know, it's pretty obvious who you are.
Yeah.
But there was other news, Spider-Man related news in the Spider Universe. Sony announced that there's talk of development of a Silk movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was surprising. She certainly didn't seem like an obvious choice to get a film, but her character did make a brief appearance in Homecoming. So it would be cool if something tied in with the larger Spider-Man cinematic universe. But that was cool.
All right, so moving along to
Champions number 21.
Right.
This is the final issue of the Northern Lights story arc. This has the Champions running up to Canada, and of course they tangle with the Canadian supergroup, the Alpha Flight. It's
I didn't know Chewbacca was in there.
oh
Oh, I get it.
Oh, it's not him? Looked like Chewbacca.
what's his name?
I don't remember.
Oh gosh, there's
Don't-
Puck.
Don't ask me
Baka
about the
Solo?
names of the
Canadian
of the
Avengers.
Alpha Flight.
See, it's Baka Solo.
Baka Solo.
Look, I mean, he's even got things. Oh, no, it's a
Puck's
mess.
a little
Well,
guy.
Hulk's calling him, just calling him
I'm sorry.
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
Totally
That's
deep.
it.
Oh,
Thank you.
This is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same difference.
So the Champions are up north. They're helping out this guy, the Master, who's a villain. But the reason why they're helping him out is because he's repairing the ice caps.
But he's doing it illegally.
He's doing it illegally, but he's doing. The Champions believe he's doing it for the right, well, the wrong reasons, but doing the right thing.
Yes.
So he's saving the ice caps so that he can save the world, so that he can then later on conquer the world
Mhm.
and rule it. But you know, in the short term, he's doing a good thing by rebuilding the polar ice caps. However, what they don't know is that his means of doing it is basically just sucking the power out of this other mutant.
Amka?
Yeah, something like I don't know how to
Balloon
pronounce it.
hand girl?
She's the
No,
she's
no.
supposed to be an Inuit, and
Oh.
Amka.
Amka.
Sorry. Amka.
So she makes her first appearances in the set of 3 in this arc. She makes her first full appearance here at the end of 21 as Snowbird, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, she should be a new character that gets pushed. She's going to join the Champions. So we got a new character appearance alert here. They also released second prints of 19 and 20, and they're connecting covers that show Snowbird on it. So those are also something to be on the lookout if you're out at your shop.
That's cool.
Cool.
You get to see a fun fight, and a new character joins Champions.
Yeah, the Champions has been a decent book. I've been
Yeah.
enjoying it.
And balloon hand girl.
Yes.
Kamala Khan,
Miss Marvel.
Ms. Marvel.
Oh, yeah, yeah. She's got those big balloon hands.
Yep.
It's
Superpower.
she's basically the Plastic Man of
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Kind of.
Yeah.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Uh,
All right.
It was good.
What else we got?
We got another first appearance. We don't have the book here because it's in the very low printed Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
Sold out.
Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, number 32, the first appearance of the Kingpin's daughter, Princess Fisk.
I heard that being
Princess
discussed in the
Fisk.
shop yesterday.
Yeah.
There were some people talking about it, yeah. So
Okay.
I was like, oh, I didn't know the Kingpin even had a daughter. And they're like, this is the reveal.
Here it
Like,
is.
oh.
Yep.
Okay.
She's on the cover, first full appearance on the inside. I don't know if the character's really going to have legs. Just typically, children don't do fare as well as the originals. But book to look out on, another first appearance. It seems to be a book that a lot of collectors are on the lookout for because it's not very readily available.
Right. Yeah, what's the print run on that?
It's got to be under. I imagine it's under 10,000.
Wow.
I mean,
It's shocking that Marvel's even running a book that has a print run that low.
well, what's interesting is that Marvel's really pushing people because it's a good book. I don't read it consistently, but most of the reviews out for it say that it's a very good book, and Marvel's trying to get people to pick it up and read it. So I think that's why we're seeing them trying to push a lot of first appearances in it, just to get interest, so people will pick up the title and read it.
Yep.
As far as new characters, this she's at least interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right.
Next.
Next up, what is it?
The number ones.
Yeah, the number ones. Let's go for it. Which one?
Okay, so we had three number ones. We had Iron Man, Hulk, and Thor. So I don't know, Wayne, why don't you pick one?
I'll take the Hulk because I just love the cover.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's iconic just from the standpoint of you have the Hulk that's breaking through the title, the purple pants and green halo,
Yep.
the purple and green in the title. I love the artwork for the cover. I mean, whoever it is that did the artwork for the Hulk in that really captured a
Joe Bennett.
pretty angry Hulk. I didn't read it, but because actually the only thing I don't read anything with Hulk. Weapon H is the closest thing.
So little, I don't know. It's kind of interesting because the cover is so like in your face.
Yeah.
The Hulk is in your face on the cover. However, in the book itself, he's basically this great white shark through the first issue. The one that you never see. You know it's there, you sense it coming, but he doesn't really appear until the very end. And I thought that was a very nice
Bait and
touch.
switch.
Yeah, it was just a very nice touch because with Hulk, you don't look at him as being, well, I got to tell you the story first of all, right? The story starts off with basically a holdup at a convenience store gas station type of thing, and trigger happy gunman basically takes out a couple customers, and later on you find out that one of the customers was Bruce Banner, who was shot, but the other one was I believe a 12-year-old girl who was killed. So later on, gunman takes his haul, goes back to his gang, so to speak. It's this I want to say a biker gang. And they're just sending people out to do all these little jobs, and get money, and they're holed up in their own, their headquarters, hideout type of thing, and that's when the Hulk hunts them down. But instead of coming in like the Hulk would, in any other comic book that we've ever seen, he's like this stalker.
He comes in like a terror.
Yeah.
There's this great spread.
Wow.
Oh, it's such a man. That's awesome.
Yeah. And it was
I love
such
it
a
when they
nice
do-
contrast.
I love it when a comic will do that. Take
Yeah.
one, not a panel, a cell,
Splash.
and throw it across 2 pages. That's great.
Yep.
Yeah, the forced perspective. The Hulk looks huge and just crazy
Yeah.
menacing and just.
Yep.
I think this
Actually makes him look bigger.
Yeah, the panel
normal.
definitely kind of I think encompasses what this book is, making the Hulk more than just a green monster. He's a green horror. There's
Yes.
a actual sense of horror that he's haunted by. Bruce himself is haunted by this force that keeps bringing him back to life.
Yes.
What is he? He's fighting against this thing and trying to convince to himself throughout the whole book. This phrase is was like, you're not bad, or like, are you a bad person?
Yeah, I'm not a bad person.
I'm not a bad person. He's
I'm
trying
not
to
a bad
convince
person.
himself, I'm not a bad person. I'm doing this for the right things, but he knows deep and down inside he's still a monster.
And the Hulk's looking back at him saying, "But are you really?"
Yeah. What do
Yeah.
you think? It's like, you know better.
Yeah. It was a nice touch. It was a great way to kick off the series, the new relaunch.
Yep.
So I'm excited about this book now. I was not nearly that excited when I picked it up off the shelf to read it the first time, and now I'm like, oh, I'm in. This is great.
Something new. Hulk. So we got different Hulk in a couple ways. It's an intelligent Hulk, so when he's hulked up,
Oh, cool.
he still has like the mental capabilities of Bruce Banner. He can still reason. He's still intelligent.
I find that to be a better read anyway.
Yeah.
You know, because there's only so much Hulk smash he can take.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
When he has an
the-
actual character.
the storylines can be more complex.
Yes.
So
And I
like it.
think that is why, like in the story, you have him hunting these people down. He wanted to inflict maximum terror
Yeah.
on these people.
It's very deliberate.
It was extremely deliberate, and I was like, wow, that was a nice touch, and that's the sign of the intelligent beast, basically.
Stalking his prey,
Yeah.
not just going
Yeah.
out and brute forcing him.
Yeah,
It was this is a cool book.
Yep.
cool.
Very good book. So
Next.
which number one, Rob? Which one are you picking next?
Talk about Thor.
Yeah.
Thor. Okay.
Turn-
Jason Aaron, who's been writing Thor for like forever,
Yeah,
is
he's-
probably one of the best Thor writers to ever grace the pages. And art by Mike Del Mundo, who I'm a huge fan of. There's really colorful, cartoony stuff.
So what's the story? Is he like C-3PO? He's got, you know,
Yeah,
a
lost.
golden limb.
He did lose his arm.
Yeah. Oh, he
Oh.
lost his arm?
He also lost his
The Sun
hammer.
Returns.
Yeah.
He lost
He
his
lost
hammer.
his hammer? He's got a hammer?
No, he's
And
got.
he lost
Oh, the
Mjolnir.
hammer into an axe. I see it now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mjolnir's what got destroyed when Jane Foster threw him into the sun.
Yes, to kill Mangog.
Yes.
Mhm.
So this is like Thor's redemption song.
So wait, so maybe there are other people out there watching that are like me, where, so in the movies, which I know they're not tied, but Thor loses his hammer, and then ends up with an axe. Does he lose the axe and go back to a hammer?
I don't know.
Well,
Oh, you mean in the comics?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh. Okay, I just wasn't sure. Actually, now that I look at it, look, it's a stone hammer, right?
Yeah.
Into a mace,
Yep.
into the hammer, into an axe. That's pretty interesting.
I think he's wielded a lot of like these might be other iterations.
The
of weapons
history. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
that
That's
he's
cool.
wielded.
Because he
Yeah. It's metaphorical.
he lost Mjolnir and became the unworthy Thor. And then he got Stormbreaker. And now he's becoming worthy again.
The
Gotcha.
Stormbreaker was someone else's weapon
Oh.
beforehand.
Yes.
I forget whose.
It was Beta Ray
Beta Ray.
Bills, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, the alien Thor.
Yeah.
When are they gonna bring him back?
He hasn't had a series in a while.
Yeah, he was Thor for a while.
He was.
There's a nice twist here at the end. We see Thor kind of going towards like the end of the world, and he comes across what appears to be Wolverine crossed with the Phoenix Force. A lot of question marks there for me. And it's not. I don't know. It's what is it, old man Phoenix.
Old man Phoenix.
Hey,
He
Bob.
looks like.
Oh, they're
yeah.
at the end of time.
Yeah. Okay. End of
Okay.
time.
End of time.
End of the world.
Marvel, how many times though are you gonna do this like mashup of other characters? Like,
Hey, I love this
just-
stuff.
I'm okay
Don't
with
stop
that.
Okay.
Keep
This
coming,
is,
Marvel.
this is just gonna be funny.
That's gonna be awesome.
Old man Phoenix.
I love the Phoenix. I
Hey
love
Bob,
Logan.
welcome to the end of time. Hope you brought a beer.
Nice.
That's fantastic.
Bub.
Bub. He's got the bub.
It's clearly Logan still. Awesome.
Oh gosh. Well, it's funny that they're going back to a number one here because it is the same creative team, right? Well, I'm sorry, I don't think the artist is, but the Aaron was writing.
Yeah.
He wrote the end of the last story arc.
Yes.
So
He's been writing Thor, and he also wrote at the same time. He was writing the Thor's the Unworthy story as well.
Yes.
So he's basically just been crafting the Thor universe.
yeah,
For the better part of a decade, and yeah, hats
So-
off, Jason Aaron. Great job.
nice to see that consistency. You know?
Yep. This
Good
is
leadership.
it's a guy that can definitely write like world building stuff and also continue to deliver on it.
Yep.
So super happy that he's still on Thor.
Mhm.
That's gonna be a good read.
Yep. So next up would be Tony Stark Iron Man #1,
Ooh.
taken over by Dan Slott, who finished up
Self-made man.
who was last seen on the Amazing
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man books.
So John
And-
Wick becomes
He
Iron Man?
looks like John Wick. I
Yeah.
get
Is
it.
that what happened?
He's
Yeah.
a self-made man now.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Self-made man.
Part 1.
Part 1.
That's right.
So Tony Stark back, obviously, is you can
Yes.
see it right in the front. Tony Stark, Iron Man. No spoilers here.
Nope.
He's back. He's in the suit, and he's fighting Fin Fang Foom in this issue,
Yes, he is.
which you would think would be pretty cool, but it was actually pretty dopey.
It was. It was a little offbeat, I think. It starts off with a little bit of a flashback to robotics teams facing each other back in the college days, I guess.
Yeah.
Where Tony Stark's basically a one-man team. I guess he didn't. His college just allowed him to be the entire team, and he's facing off against this other guy who he basically just rolls through. I mean, he destroys the other guy's robotics team.
It's
but
Tony
then-
Stark, after all.
It is Tony Stark, but then flash forward, then you've got Tony Stark heavily recruiting him to bring him into Stark Industries, right? And saying he's basically the guy, one of the guys that we need to have to, to bring Stark Industries into the future. And basically, this battle against Fin Fang Foom ends up that the new guy is kind of thrown into a very pivotal role in solving how Iron Man's going to basically, or Tony Stark is going to take out Fin Fang Foom and save, New York City or whatever it is. Was it New York City that was being attacked? I can't remember.
I don't remember either. It was a very forgettable issue for me.
So is this
Yeah.
back in time when he fights Fin Fang Foom?
No, it's
It's-
flash forward now into the current times,
Okay.
but it was a little bit, I don't know, a bit of an underwhelming reboot, I would say, from Dan Slott here. Maybe he's still recovering from his Amazing Spider-Man hangover. I don't know.
They brought in this new suit as a Fin Fang Foom Buster, and it's like literally just like a Gundam suit.
Yeah,
I thought that was like
Force 5 over here.
kinda racist. Like, okay, you're fighting a giant monster, so you had to fashion yourself a Gundam suit.
Yeah,
Seemed pretty easy.
it's like Grandizer.
Grandizer. Nice.
Yeah.
Grandizer, go.
But I digress.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, when you stay up all night, trying to figure out puns for your last couple issues of Spider-Man, maybe you don't have as much left in the tank to write a good kick butt first issue of Tony Stark Spider-Man. Sorry, Iron Man. I am I'm very
No one cares.
disappointed. I hope that he gets on his horse and can. Well, you don't seem to have much hope about this.
I'm done.
Yeah, one and done for Ken here. That's really going to kill a lot of conversation in future episodes, especially if I want to talk about it. But I mean, Iron Man is like one of those characters of all the Avengers. I love reading Iron Man books, so I'm a bit disappointed here. But I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to see if issue number 2 can kind of bring it back
You
to
let
what
me
we
know.
know and love.
I like. Don't get me wrong. I think Iron Man has to be written correctly. I thought Bendis' run on Iron Man, his last volume, was excellent. It was one of those runs that I think I read most of it through since it relaunched in back with their that relaunched 4 years ago.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I was kind of bummed. I think he wrote a Tony Stark that's very reflective of the Tony that we know from the movie franchise, and the Tony in this was different.
Yeah.
Didn't have the same exact snarkiness. That sort of.
Yeah, he didn't
Assumed.
feel familiar.
No, he seemed like a different Tony.
Yeah. Yep. So, well, that brings us into Rob. Why don't you kind of lead us off here with Teen Titans?
Bless you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Oh, DC.
We have one DC book to talk
One
about.
DC book.
Yeah.
We're actually not going to talk Man of Steel this time around, but we will next time.
Well,
What are we talking today?
Teen Titans,
Yep.
following the events of No Justice,
Yes.
Yep.
they're kind of, it's just Red Arrow, Kid Flash, and Robin, Damian.
Oh, so Young Justice.
Kinda. But this first issue, they're kind of figuring out that they can't solve everything with as being heroes, and they realizing they're not the Justice League. They're young. They just pretty much need to get the job
Gotta
done,
get results.
and they're gonna get the results in any means necessary now.
Okay.
Either as a hero or they're using their alter egos.
As their alter egos, but as most heroes, there's certain lines that your
Yeah.
heroes don't cross. In the last pages of the book's basically broken up into 3 stories. It's Damien's story, it's
Kid Flash's,
Kid Flash's story, and Red Arrow's story.
Red Arrows. Yeah.
And at the end of Damien's story, he literally just murders all of Black Mask's crew.
Yeah.
Just shoots them to ribbons, and that's not very justice-like.
No.
Not at all.
Yeah, it's here's him just pointing a gun at Black Mask and just blows him away.
Mm.
So these guys got a whole new take on the superhero ring.
So to pretty much to be heroes, if they need to kill the villain, they will.
They have to do the wrong thing.
If they
To do
need
the
to
right
do the
thing.
wrong thing to do the right thing, they've realized that they might have to do that.
Mm.
Hey, would you go back in time and kill Hitler if you had the chance? Yeah.
And there's these are good questions.
Yeah.
There was I thought Wally West's story was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He basically is apprehending this guy, and the Suicide Squad's trying to bring him in. Was it her? He's trying to bring her in, and it's just like, hey, look, don't go with the Suicide Squad. Tries to stop them, and then the other Wally West pops up and is like, he pulls rank. He's like, no, these guys are working with the Suicide Squad. They got clearance.
Yeah.
She's got to go with her.
They're actually the government.
Yep. They're like, they got to, sorry kids, you can't do anything about it. We know that the Suicide Squad's bad, but they're under orders to take her in, so we got to let her in. And turns out that Suicide Squad just murders her afterwards. And Wally knew all along that this was going to happen, but he let older Wally West tell him, this is what's right, this is what you have to do. And he's like, no, bullcrap. Don't buy it for a second.
So, interesting take on the future Teen Titans.
Yes, definitely going to be more violent Teen Titans. We got also a few first appearances that people are interested in on the last page.
Oh.
We have on the final page first appearances of the other members of this team. It's going to be, I believe, the Djinn, and that is Crush, who is Lobo's daughter.
Okay.
And another daughter. Lobo apparently had one, and Roundhouse.
It's not a surprise. Lobo probably has more kids.
You'd imagine he'd be,
He's the man.
yeah,
He's kind of a player.
he'd be going around.
Yeah.
All right.
Just
Spreading his
contaminating
seed. Yeah, yeah.
contaminating the general population gene pool. So that's pretty much it for for DC.
Okay.
Batman's getting married next week, and there's like a
Did you get your invite?
Karen covers.
No?
Yeah, I got my invite.
Okay.
There was a really couple good issues leading up. 48 and 49 were very good. They were about their Joker stories, and it was basically Joker coming after Batman and setting this like elaborate trap for him. And at the end, it's like this thing where the altar he just asks him and Batman are sitting there. He's like, "So do I get to be your best man?" Or the altar just explodes and blows them both to bits.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was good.
All right, we're not talking Man of Steel, but I'm just going to say
We're not.
I really do enjoy the cover.
Does
I
it?
like
Why is
covers.
that, Wayne?
Because it's very much a throwback or an homage to Death of Superman.
Yeah.
Whether it's the animated series or the comic cover.
I believe
You
it was
know.
Superman 75 that featured that iconic
Yeah,
picture of
with
his
the
cape,
Yeah.
kind of flapping,
Right, right.
ripped in the wind.
And that's basically what you've got here on Man of Steel, and it's probably just kind of a retelling of that story. But nonetheless, I love the cover.
Mm-hmm.
Love the cover.
506.
So yeah,
Yes.
I guess we'll be
Six.
discussing that more next month once we have the final issue to wrap up the series.
Yes, we decided to hold off on that discussion just because it hadn't wrapped, but it's been a one issue per week series. So I'm really looking forward to the end, but we'll save that discussion for the next shoot.
And good Lord, we have an independent on the table.
We do. There's a good reason for that too. And Ken's going to go into details as to why we're going to be discussing Gideon Falls, one of my favorites.
This is a book that we've spotlighted, I think, a couple times on the show now. Definitely when the first issue came out. It's a creepy horror story by Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. It's the same creative team that brought you Old Man Logan. So it's got that same kind of like terror horror feel to it.
Yep.
It's a mystery. There's some spiritual stuff going on revolving around a town and this mysterious black barn, which is this demonic building that appears, and then soon after it appears, it disappears. But then a string of like crazy stuff happens afterwards, like murders and
Yep.
cult stuff.
Secret societies. You got, you've got this cop relationship with the priest in the town, the new priest. You've got this crazy guy who's got this relationship with his doctor.
He's running around town and he's just like digging through garbage, and like he claims that he's like digging out pieces of the black barn and
The
he's
nails.
collecting them.
That's right.
Mhm.
Nails from the black barn. And so
It's all very creepy.
it is very creepy. It's riveting though, and it might be on the screen.
Yeah, we got
So that's
announced it
pretty
got optioned for something. I think a TV show or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, that'd be cool. If you guys haven't checked it out, Gideon Falls is it's only like a few issues in, like
Three issues
That's
in.
three.
Yep.
Okay. Really easy to catch up on. I think issue 1's had multiple printings, so it should be easy to find.
Yep.
Good solid book. Kind of funny that it got picked up so soon.
Yeah, I don't know. They obviously pushed this one hard. They must have had a lot of advanced story to pitch to a studio. So, you know, they've got a good plan apparently in place. So, but I'm excited to read on the page primarily as opposed to seeing it on the TV screen. So it'll be a little ways before we get to see that.
I
That's
do
all
think
on
that's going to be. I do think that's going to make for. It can make for good TV.
Oh yeah.
Other indie TV news related, Lock and Key, I guess, is back on for production.
Oh, yeah. Through what channel is that going to be?
Netflix, I believe.
Is it Netflix?
I think so. I mean, I would need to
Or
check
Hulu?
my facts, but
Yeah.
one of the big streaming platforms picked it up. I don't
That's
think.
fantastic.
I think they're going to redo it. I don't know. I don't know if you remember, they did a pilot for it
Yep.
early on when it was supposed to be in development for someone else, and they
That's
passed
right.
on it. But I guess they're going to take a whole new creative team and take another whack at it.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's good news because that is a wonderful set of graphic novels. I'm saying graphic novels now, but it was obviously a comic series. But Stephen King's son, Joe Hill, at the creative reins.
Yeah, great fantasy book. Some really cool ideas that I wish I had read when I was younger.
Awesome stuff. Well, I think that's all we have for you this month. So we appreciate you tuning in. We really hope that you can give us some comments and also ask some questions and tell us what you would like to see on the next show. So signing off for now, but we'll see you again soon.